Rassie, last week we speak about the semi-final kind of match in Durban. How is the approach, the mental approach to this game? What do you expect from your team, from Argentina? Argentina has to level up, I think, to give a good battle there in Twickenham.
Well, first of all, as I said last week, we know Argentina's type of soul or the way they approach rugby and how much it means to them. And I think the final score definitely flatters us a little bit. And it's, half time it was, when I walked down from the change room, it was 18-16. And when I got to the change room, it was 26-24 because of the two quick tries, And then at minutes, we got a yellow card. And then at minute 65, it was still a very close game. And then they ran out of reserves. And they were 14 men for the last 12 minutes, which kind of, if you look at the game in total, that's when we scored a couple of tries, when they were only 14 men on the field. And they had injuries, two fly-offs. Scrum off got injured. So our reality is we know Argentina. And they beat us away in Argentina. We beat them proper at Bombela. But the previous week they beat us. So we know they can turn it around like this. Probably for us it's a bit nerve-wracking because we have to win this game to win the Rugby Championship. Probably for them the pressure is maybe a bit off, but internally in their hearts the pressure won't be off, so we expect a big fight back from them.
Rassie, I just wondered what your thoughts were about playing a Rugby Championship match at Twickenham and what your memories of Twickenham are as both a player and a coach. Same question to
No, all good. I'll go first. At Twickenham, we played here at neutral ground versus New Zealand. It went pretty well. Last time we played here against England was 2022. I was still banned then. Actually, I watched the game here in the Lansbury that day. I think we won that game there. So I think it's for the first time in a long time that we will be in the away change room since the 2022. Or maybe I'm not sure where we were when we played the All Blacks here, but no, look, we've got lots of South Africans here. As Evan said, we don't just count on them. We count on the millions of people in South Africa, knowing they're watching in malls and at their houses and taverns and, pubs and so on. And we know they're also there in heart and spirit, but having people at the ground is great. And as a player, I enjoy Twickenham always. Like all the Six Nations countries and stadiums, they have a central stadium like Twickenham and Murrayfield and Aviva and so on. We don't have that in South Africa and in the Southern Hemisphere team, so it's pretty special to play a game here. But we are the away team in theory. Yeah.
Evan, your memories of Twickenham?
Yeah, also obviously memories. 2015 didn't go that well. Played New Zealand here in the semi-final and lost. But yeah, probably the best memory at Twickenham was the game against the All Blacks before the 23 World Cup. Always a great stadium to play at. Lots of South Africans in London. Massive, I think 82,000 people. So it will be a great game. Great to play here. It's obviously a bit of a shorter travel than to go to Argentina, which is a small positive for us. But no, really excited to play against Argentina at neutral ground. It's going to be a great test match.
Thank you.
Rassie, obviously not just the Twickenham game, but also back at Wembley as well in a few weeks, the Japan game.
Yeah.
Could you just talk about sort of what these England games mean for the Springboks in terms of sort of just off-field profile, finances, what the importance of these games are to the country?
I don't know the financial side of things, but I think obviously this is Argentina's game to take and host it here, and obviously I think there's some commercial reasons behind that. I'm not 100% sure. But it also, I think, both of our teams, traveling just the overnight flight and you're back into it. If we traveled back to Argentina, I think both teams would have been a little bit time zones and those kind of thing. And I must say, I'll get to your question now. I must say the Argentinian team, they are sacrificing a hell of a lot. Their players are playing all over the world. They've played against New Zealand at home. But then Australia away, then straight from Australia to South Africa, straight from South Africa to London, and then they go all over to the clubs where they are pretty much used to traveling. But for us too, we feel there's people in London, which support us, and they don't always get the opportunity to watch us. And also I've never been at Wembley, so we're excited for that. And it's also a bit nervy because we remember what Japan did to us in Brighton. And it's I think the Wales game, we're playing a Wales game also. We've got another 5 test matches, so the more we can get closer to people who support us, or people enjoy the way we play, or not the way we play, when we play, to watch us, even if they're on the opposition side. It's nice to travel the world and get the experience, because I think we'll certainly need that in Australia in 2027.
Obviously, there's nothing better than winning a World Cup. So, question to both of you. There's a perception that winning the Rugby Championship, you have to play more consistently, you have to play consistently over weeks, that it's a harder tournament to win than a World Cup. I'm interested to find out how you find managing a World Cup campaign with the Rugby Championships, and if the Rugby Championships is a harder tournament to win, given the travel, given the quality of teams you play week in, week out.
I'll go first, and then Evan can say as a player. I think the thing that evens it out in the Rugby Championship is that the teams that you play again also has to travel. So obviously it was daunting traveling to New Zealand and Eden Park, and it's tough to go and win in New Zealand. So sometimes the draw is the other way around. Australia is tough, but then they have to travel to us the 1 year, so it changes. But normally Argentina and us play home and away the last game. So I would say probably the quality of the teams that you play is in a World Cup pool. Normally, don't stick out my neck, and then we get smashed in the pool stages. But there's normally, I would say 2 big pool games, quarterfinal, semi-final, final, 5 games. Where Rugby Championship is probably 6 games against. Australia is now not in the top 5 teams, but we know they normally are the top 4 teams. And Argentina has beaten the British Irish Lions, New Zealand, Australia. And you've got always 33 guys together in a World Cup. But then with this, you've got players in and out. There's a bit of a break here. The traveling is definitely different with time zones. So I think the rugby itself is sometimes a little bit tougher. But then the pressure of World Cup games, I think it's much tougher than a Rugby Championship, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I must say it's definitely much harder to win a World Cup. I think, as you can see in this year's Rugby Championship, each team has lost 2 games. So in the World Cup, if you lose, you're pretty much out, or if you lose more than 2 games, you're out of the competition. But I think, like Rassie says, it's quality opposition, especially, how the teams are playing this year. Argentina is playing exceptional rugby. All Blacks have always been good, and Australia, I think a lot of people maybe before this year's championship said they not the team they were years back, but they certainly have been playing unbelievable rugby. So it's such a closely contested Rugby Championship, which is great, obviously, but I still say World Cup is the most difficult to win.
Evan, Argentina is struggling in the line out last Saturday in Durban. The 9 kicks lots of his kicking with pressure. Great part of that was you. Do you think that Argentina is going to change the strategy in the line and in the kicking game?
I'm not sure. I think obviously in the lineouts, sometimes you just get it right. There's obviously a bit of guessing involved as well. Sometimes you just guess right. But they obviously will have new plans. They'll look at what happened this past weekend, and they've got great coaches and great players that can sort a problem like that out. And obviously with the contestable kicking game, they also have a new plan. Maybe, I don't know whether they kick more off 10. I'm not sure, but they'll definitely have plans. And we also again have plans to try and disrupt them. It's like a chess match. We always try to catch each other out. And on Saturday we have to see who's got the better tricks.
Rassie, this one is for you. Last week Sasha had an amazing game, of course. How is important for you? How do you manage such a young player who just had such a good performance for the week after? He keeps the same consistency and not maybe to forget or to be too happy.
I understand your question, and That's probably, if you just take it a little while back, he first, when we got him into the Springbok mix, we played him into SAA games while we were touring in Ireland, and played against Bristol, and he played against Munster, and he joined us for a little bit. And then we played him against our Tier 2 nations, and then we played him against Ireland. And so we're trying to build him up, and unfortunately, it's not him that makes the big hype about him. It's not unfortunately, fortunately. I mean, if he makes a big hype about himself, he won't stay in our team for long. By giving him another chance in a game like this, I'm telling you straight up, to put Andre maybe in the team in a game like this is very inviting for us as coaches and as a team selection. But then, him learning from this match during this week, only have 2 training sessions, keep his head down, understand our plan. Of course, sometimes a game like that puts more pressure on you in the next game. So we're putting him through his paces and experiencing this pressure. Even if he does well or not do well, he'll be a better player afterwards. So we tend to do it slowly, but have a nice security like Mani on the bench, and then also obviously Andre and Tony and Gaza helping, Damian Willemse helping him during the week. And then obviously he played off a great platform by the forwards. I really thought he never had not front football, but if Argentina disrupt us there, then the pressure will go on to him. So I think it's all a bit of, he's 23. Still, one of the guys said he's 21. He's not 21, he's 23. Interesting fact is that the World Cup has never been won by a flyer younger than 25, so he's got some learning to do, but he's putting his head down and he's working really hard.
Rassie, here in Britain, we've been really captivated by this year's Rugby Championship, just the results and how exciting it's been. But obviously it comes at a time where there's a bit of uncertainty around the future of the competition. I just wonder if you could give the sort of insider's view on this year's tournament, but also what, the future Rugby Championships and what they'll look like.
Well, I know next year is the greatest rivalry and the touring of New Zealand. So I'm not in the boardroom, so know exactly how it works. We love playing against Argentina and against Australia, and I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out. And this year specifically, I really think our really bad game was Australia the second half in the first game. And then I would say 20 minutes of New Zealand in the first half. But then both teams has lost one, win one, lost one, So it's so tight on the log, and it's exciting. We feel not comfortable, lucky to be a 1 log point ahead, but it's certainly one of the most unpredictable. And I guess, teams changes a lot. New Zealand changed their team a lot. Australia, then, Nick White is retired, then he's back in, then we've chopped and changed. And I guess we're all trying to look at the current, but also think about the future. And I guess it's just that 2.5 years out, or 2 years out from a World Cup, that's when you start building squad depth. So hopefully, I'm not sure what the bosses will decide on Rugby Championship. We really enjoy it, but we also understand where everybody is building team depth. So I guess that's what makes this last weekend so important.
Last question?
Rassie is talking about building depth for your squad, but I was wondering, for you players, is it easy to live this way, like one week you're on the team, the week after you're on the bench, the week after you're not even in the 23? How do you go through this process when you are not playing? And
yeah, to be honest, I think it's not easy. I think that's life. Rassie never says we can't be sad, or you can't be angry. You can be angry maybe for a half a day, but then you must get back onto task. Then you must help the guy who's preparing for the weekend. I think as soon as it's going to be easy for you when you're not selected, that's probably when you lose that competitive edge. So it's never nice not to see your name on there, or if you think you're going to start, then you're on the bench, or if you think you're on the bench, but then you're not playing. So it's tough, but we've created an environment where whoever is playing on the weekend, we back those guys, because we know the way Rassie is rotating that you'll get another opportunity. And if you that guy that is a bit angry the whole time and a bit sad the whole time, then probably you might never get your opportunity again. So it's just about trusting the system. Like I said, we'll never lose our competitive edge. So you'll never just accept and be happy with everything, but you learn to watch best for the team and just to give back for the box, if I can say it like that.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.